Hey, how's it going? News event during the weekend is pretty evident. US attacked Iran, oil-based sectors and the weapons-related sectors will most likely be gapping up with the broader markets gapping down on Monday. Well, war is bullish to the markets in the long term anyway. It's not my opinion, it's just statistics. The Fed will be forced to support the economy by cutting interest rates if things go tits up. Markets love cocaine. It'll sniff it and keep pushing to the upside. But now the question becomes where to from here on shorter time frames, so let's start with SPY. Friday's close was pretty lackluster already. We might see a continuation down under Monday. I say that because we closed under the 20 SMA on the daily. The 5-day moving average on the shorter time frames is also declining to the downside, which means the momentum for the last 5 trading days is already been favoring the sellers. We already lost the monthly anchored VWAP coming from June 2nd, which means the average buyers who got SPY at the beginning of the June are now losing money. Now, if they do continue to the downside, the first level I will be watching out for is this $587.50 zone, which is the AVWAP from the month of May as the first area of interest, followed by the gap from May 23rd to 24th. And once they fill the gap, they will also tag the 200-day moving average, which is currently at that $580. This 580 will be my first weekly pivot, while the 587 zones remains an intraday pivot, a small area. We might see a spike in VIX as well, thereby increasing the volatility in SPY. If you're going to trade SPY, be aware of the elevated moves, try not to get trapped. And if they lose 580s, we can deal with them in real time, and then the pivot becomes the positively sloping 50 SMA at 575s and change. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves yet. For now, 580 is on the watch to the downside in case of elevated selling tomorrow. Depending on how aggressive the gap down is going to be, we'll update the plan accordingly into the open. I'm being a bit bearish here because of how Friday closed. If they just gap higher during the futures session, well, I will be hoping to change my plan during the pre-markets based off of where the futures are standing. I'm going to stick with this plan to the downside. Now, let's talk about QQQ. Similar to SPY, QQQ lost the month-to-date anchored VWAP from June as well. The average buyers who purchased the stock from June is now losing money. We are trading under the declining 5-day moving average in shorter time frames. If they gap down on Monday, we might lose to 20 SMA on the daily as well. If they do that, I will be watching for this $522 to $521.60 zones to the downside for the first area of interest, followed by the AVWAP, anchored VWAP coming from the month of May, which is currently around at 517s. We are working on a golden cross in the daily time frames. I want this pullback to continue further towards this 495s to 490 zones so that it gives us a low risk opportunity to average up on our QQQ positions, which we got near that 450s. But when do I always get what I want? If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, great as well. We'll update it real time. For now, the first pivot I'll be watching to the downside is 517. Anything under the level which I'm interested will be at that 509s, the gap from 23rd of May to 24th. And as long as the SPY and QQQ are trading under declining 5-day moving average, I will be staying a bit cautious in shorter time frames with these indices. Now let's dive into swing trades. Are you tired of buying the top and selling the bottom? Do your trades magically reverse the moment you enter? Is your P&L looking like a horror story written by the markets themselves? Hi, I'm the sponsor of this video. Me, that's right. Well, go ahead and check the links down below in the description to join the community. If you're looking for one-on-ones, if you're looking for swing trade ideas, if you're looking for live trading room and a grounded community, I got it all. So if you're tired of emotional damage, revenge trading and trying to scalp the S&P with your rent money, maybe it's time to get serious. Or at least a bit strategic. Well, in the previous video, I mentioned we're waiting for an opportunity to average up on the name INTU. We were waiting for the stock to pull back towards this AVWAP from this gap up candle from earnings. They did that last Wednesday and held the VWAP on Friday. So the plan was pretty simple. I added 0.2% more on Friday to average up on the position by a small amount, and once the price gets back over this 5-day moving average, the blue line which you see here, I will be completing these positions. If it stops me out from there, the total account will be at 0.4% at risk. We're forming a channel here on shorter time frames, as you can see on my charts. If they get back over the 5-day moving average, the final ad will be taking place to complete the positions, or I will complete the positions once they break out of this channel and then they retest the same and successfully hold on to it. I like the monthly charts on this. I'm going to give this position some room to breathe and take it as low as possible with the risk so we don't micromanage and turn this potential big winner into chump change or stoppage. We will see how the stock reacts Monday with broader markets, and I'll let the markets dictate what to do moving forward. If they clear the 5-day moving average, we'll add more. If not, well, initial position stays. Real time updates will be given out anyway when I average up or trim on my position, so check out the Patreon if you're interested. Now the next name which we have on our portfolio is BYD. Decent close on Friday, held the previous highs as support. Unlike INTU, we already have a full-size position on BYD. If they continue to push further from here, I will be considering taking some profits off the table near that mid $77 by leaving some runners towards that previous all-time highs at 80. Good looking chart. Not going to micromanage this until the market tells me otherwise. It paid us dividends on our swing trading positions a few days back, which is an added benefit if you ask me. We'll see what it does into the next week and manage the same accordingly. Now, we spoke about two pretty looking names, now let's talk about the ugly ones. FTNT. FTNT kicked me out last week, not something I'm interested in getting back into yet until they recover the uptrend. They lost the 50-day moving average and the 20-day moving average on daily, currently trading under the 5-day moving average as well. Need about 1 or 2s again for re-entry if they're gonna do some shenanigans into next week. If not, this is gonna take a while for consideration. Well, brace yourself for more bullshit into next week with geopolitics, as always. Take high probability trades, manage the risk wisely. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Damn, this violin is fire.